Here again with another in our series of short videos, hopefully to give some help and advice and guidance and tips for families who find themselves unexpectedly with their children at home while schools are closed. I'm a home educating parent of 2 adopted children, and I also work from home. So where you are now, I have been, and hopefully some of the things we've learned in our journey will be useful to you. I wanted to go back today to a theme we've talked about before, which is about structuring your day, and specifically how much time do we think would be suitable for children to try and do some work. It may be that with your children that you're not really attempting any formal learning right now, and that's fine, because as we'll discuss later in this video, there's a lot of different kinds of learning, and these are all very valuable. But if you are trying to do some formal education with your children, what's a reasonable amount of time? Children are in school for 6 or 7 hours a day, right? So should you be trying to do 6 or 7 hours a day? I would say absolutely not. This is a question that is often asked to me as a home educated parent. How much time do your children spend working? And it's a difficult question to answer because not all learning is necessarily what looks like working. So my children do spend time at the table doing work out of books, and we have a structure for that. But they also do a lot of other learning that doesn't look like working. So if you think about the average school day, it might be 6 or 7 hours long, but we know that the children are not sitting at desks being actively taught and actively learning from their teachers for all of those 6 or 7 hours. There are lunch times, there are break times, there are assemblies, there are form times, there's the time that you spent moving from one classroom to another. Even within the actual class time, there is time spent settling down at the beginning, packing up your equipment at the end and getting your instructions for homework or whatever's going to come next. And there are those times, let's be realistic, where the children might be looking out the window a little bit or with the handle waiting for the teacher to come and help them because they've got stuck. So in terms of actual minutes that a child in school will spend working, it's probably a lot fewer than you think. So you can use that as a bit of a guide when you're at home. And then you can also factor in that without the distractions of a class full of children around them and with really an excellent adult to pupil ratio in your house, the chances are your children will get quite a lot done in quite a small amount of time. And then I want to go back to the thing I mentioned earlier, which is not all learning looks like work. So although I, as a home educator personally, find it useful and grounding for us to have some workbooks and some quite formal schemes that we do work through, particularly for maths and for spelling and those areas, for a lot of other curriculum areas, we tend to take a much more wide-ranging approach to what we would consider learning. And you may feel not well equipped to teach your children science or history or subjects that you're not comfortable with, but I can promise you are equipped to teach your children some things that they might not even have the opportunity to learn in school. So I'm hoping to reframe this time with the children at home as perhaps some kind of opportunity. What are your skills? What are your passions and your interests and your enjoyments? Is there a chance, is there an option for you to spend some time with your children, introducing them to the things that you are skilled in and that you are passionate about? I would have loved, for instance, to have learned some car maintenance earlier in my life because I have got no skills in that whatsoever. If you have skills in that, now might be the great time to sit down with your children and look at that. Cooking and baking, gardening, IT skills, craft, art and design skills. There are loads of things that you might be really great at that wouldn't necessarily come within the remit of our national curriculum style of education, but which you now have time to share those things with your children and do something with them. So I would really encourage you to think really broadly about what a learning experience might look like for your children over the next few weeks. They can be learning, they can be getting new skills, and they can be developing life skills that might not have been available to them in school. Schools will resume, education will resume, all that will resume, and we'll have to see what that looks like when it happens. But in the meantime, within your family and your household, there are things that you could be teaching your children that they wouldn't be able to learn in school. So be adventurous. I would go so far as to recommend that you encourage your children to support you in running the household and the basic things that people need to do to learn to live, to planning meals and groceries and laundry and basic household maintenance and those kinds of tasks. As I said, to share your own passions, hobbies and loves with them, and to involve them in the things that you may not normally have time to involve them in. I know that for some of you, having your children at home from school will be quite a significant challenge, but for others of you, having them in school is a challenge, and having them home from school is an opportunity. And if you're in that position, I want to really encourage you to grasp the opportunity with both hands and just see what learning experiences as a family you can have, and whether this might be an opportunity to bond, spend time together, and move to a different place as a family with this long period of uninterrupted time together. I'm wishing you all the best with that, and do share if you have any breakthroughs, or you and your children enjoy some kind of new project together, or enjoy doing something wonderful together. Bye.